Beautiful souls, and welcome to episode 2 of the Quantum Synergy. The Quantum Synergy highlights practitioners and their very unique modalities. This show creates an access point for you to hear their stories and connect with them. Today, I want to welcome my friend Crystal Taylor. We have been friends for a little over a year on Facebook, and when I met her, she was just doing this really incredible work with her friend Herman. So I'm just going to bring her in right now and let her explain who Herman is to her. And I think you guys are going to love this story. So before we get started, make sure you like, love, and share this post out. Hi, Danae. All right, Crystal.
Hello. Hello, everyone. So Herman is a spirit. He has a past life that's kind of infamously known. That's a whole nother book to write there also. But some people think of him as H.H. Holmes, a serial killer. I'm not getting into that part, but that's not what I deal with at all. So I lost my train of thought. See, I get so uncomfortable even talking about this still. I'm not used to doing this. So I call him Herman, though, and he's a spirit. And I found out over a couple of years worth of a lot of shit going on that we're very connected at soul level or higher self level. I don't even know how to explain that. So that's why I do work with him now. And that I know a lot of people are going to ask, how did I know what's going on? But that's kind of a whole book in the making, a lot of shit. And
Well, so, go ahead.
I don't know. I've lost my train of thought completely now because I got nervous. So I kind of lost track of what I was trying to say. Help me out.
Oh, no, that's totally okay. We were just, just kind of going over who he is, just a very basic sense. And, just maybe we should talk about soul contracts for a little bit so people kind of, maybe know how that part works, because I'm sure, hearing H.H. Holmes, and I don't know how many people actually know the name Herman Mudgett, but, maybe they're wondering, well, Crystal, why would you work with H.H. Holmes? Is it safe? Is it,
Right. Sorry, hold on. I get so thirsty. So in the beginning, I did not want to because I had that stigma of what I thought I knew attached to that name. So I immediately jumped on the bandwagon of you're evil, you got to go. I even learned how to and tried to do 4 different times of banishment on him. Didn't work at all. Had to learn that the hard way. So I had some karma there I had to deal with myself. But that's kind of, I guess that's how you learn a soul contract exists, is if there's, especially with a spirit, if there's a spirit around you that you're convinced in your mind shouldn't be, but there's nothing you can do about it, they keep coming back, then that's a sign there's a reason. And that's what kind of opened me up to start digging more and more and more, like what the hell is going on here?
Definitely. And as far as soul contracts, people enter into these lifetimes, like we're here for specific jobs. And then if we go on to the next mission, or we go back home for a little bit, whatever happens, we are here for specific missions. So right. He might have been H.H. Holmes in one lifetime, but that doesn't necessarily mean that piece of him is coming forward with him either. Like on a soul level, we are completely different, and we are all connected, interconnected, and able to communicate with each other. And, just because you have these lessons doesn't mean they necessarily carry on with your soul, like you have to be that same person on your next mission either. So,
and I think that's what a lot of people don't understand with a lot of figures you see in society. That person, whatever they're doing here, they at soul level, they signed up to come here and do a job that maybe the rest of the world isn't going to like, but they're learning something out of that also.
Absolutely. I was actually totally having this conversation with somebody the other day about soul contracts. And, I think it was kind of a conversation on why do these people come into this life and have to be this jerk, or, and these other people are so nice. And, it kind of got into the conversation about Hitler. And
oh yeah, that comes up a lot.
yeah, when I actually sat down, and it probably wasn't very long ago either, you think about souls like Hitler who have come here and done these horrible things, horrible things. But we have to understand that these souls are coming here for a reason. That was his job. And to even be able to sign the contract for that, that takes a pretty big person to be able to come in and shift the world like that. And if
exactly, it's a huge energy. Like, because if you're someone that can even somewhat feel energy, if you think you're an empath or whatever, if you look at a photo at these people, you feel it. Like they had huge energy. So that's for a soul to come here and do that type of job, that's saying a lot right off the bat.
Right, exactly. And, on a bigger scale, bigger than we can see, just imagine he came into this planet, whatever he did, yes, it was done, but it also, we call that piece the heart awakening. It was like Earth's heart awakening moment, where we started to go, wow, we can't persecute these people for things that shouldn't be even that behavior shouldn't have been tolerated. You have all these advancements in science and medicine, and so there were some things that did come that helped us evolve from the situation, but
exactly.
People don't always see that piece either, and it really is hard to chew on. It's hard to process. And I think when you finally sit down and realize that things are so much bigger than you or me, or, it really starts to make sense.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've learned through this process working with Herman, because slowly over time, when this started, I went from the immediate reactions of you're bad, go away, to then I was getting curious, like, okay, well, you're really interesting, so I want to talk about this. Like, I want to ask kind of sadistic questions, just to hear what's going to happen, which is, that didn't help me at all, because then I was just getting the answers that I wanted to hear. Right. And it wasn't the truth. So I had to learn that the hard way also. Like, yeah, spirits will lie about things, especially if it's for a lesson.
Right.
So you have to really start learning to read between the lines, like they talk in code. And that's what I've been learning. That lifetime that everyone knows him as it's full of misinformation. There, I don't want to get too deep because it's kind of sounding conspiracy theorist, and I don't have a lot of evidence to back up what I've been told, but
yeah,
there's little bits starting to come out that is backing up what I've been told. I just don't have that info. But like that name H.H. Holmes was more than one person. It was a group of people, a minimum of 2 to 3, probably more, that were in business, and they were very connected in a kind of, I'll use the word Masonic, but there was other things going on that isn't necessarily Masons. So I don't know which group exactly. He was a member of several. So that was like a public business name. There were a lot of people working as H.H. Holmes, and things kind of went crazy. And so it had to be publicly shut down in a way, which is where the hanging and the burial comes in, of burying that name. But that wasn't who was buried. That's a whole nother story. So
right, absolutely. I don't think that was him either. Absolutely not. Yeah, and it would be really interesting, and again, technology is so different. So, whereas today you probably can't really hide like that or move forward.
No way. Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't have those records as of yet. Maybe there is something that exists. Maybe he'll help lead you there someday when we're all ready for that truth, right?
Yeah, I hope so. And I know there are other people that are, for whatever reason, are being pushed to check things. So there may be relatives or descendants from some of the women who were known to have married H.H. Holmes. And it's coming out that they don't carry any Mudgett DNA, which means the person they married as H.H. Holmes is not Herman Mudgett.
Interesting.
That's what I've been told. This may be coming out. I don't know. I have no data on that at all.
Wow.
So if that is true, I hope they come out with it.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, you just have to wonder how many people are actually going to get the tests too, and how quickly that will all come together. Yeah. And so how long have you been working with him?
It's been about 3 years now. And it wasn't, again, at least a year and a half of that was not me really working with him. I was working against him. So it's been since sometime last year, things started really shifting for me a lot. And I was getting into my own energy work and actually performing it, not just what I was getting for myself. And so it's like my own path kept evolving, and then he kept coming in and coming in and coming in and trying to like get involved with everything. So I was like, okay, now I've really got to get to the bottom of this.
That's really interesting. And he's a helper for you, right? Maybe a little bit of an educator, definitely a guide. How does he work with you?
It's like if you think of like a married couple and they live together and work together and then they're like also partying together, that's kind of what's going on here.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's and I know you have a ton of friends that love him, you know, and it's so funny to me that he came and told me that he needed to be known as the famous, you know.
Yeah, like I'm glad you brought that up, because I want people to see, like, he goes out and tells people things. It's not me reaching out to people and saying, well, Herman said blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you guys come to me and tell me out of nowhere.
And he is a very powerful energy, but also kind of like a gentle giant too. Like, yes. I've never, and maybe just connected on very briefly for those couple of times, but very, very soft energy. It's not scary. It's not overwhelming.
No, he's very gentle. He uses that identity of Herman Mudgett, what he looked like then, dresses the exact way, you know, always looks immaculate, the 3-piece suit, you know, whatever. I feel like a bum sometimes just sitting in my own home. But so I think he keeps that identity, like that appearance, to test people, to see like, okay, if you recognize this look, are you going to immediately flip out?
Right.
But if you talk to him, he's completely gentleman and very, you know, proper. Everything's proper.
Definitely. And very funny too, you know, just playful, you know.
Yeah.
He really is an incredible soul. Like I said, I've just briefly connected just a couple times, and he's been really amazing. I also find it funny that you were telling me he goes to your friend's house to have dinner. He likes tacos.
That came out on Facebook. Like, the weirdest stuff happens on Facebook. But yeah, evidently there's like a whole list of people that do a lot of really good home cooking, because I don't do that a ton. If I am cooking, it's more healthy. So he has a whole list of people that he goes like, who's cooking what tonight? He's going to eat, and he'll tell them, like, because I had a friend, the first time she dealt with him, I don't remember what she had, but he wanted it, and I guess she wanted to use paper plates, and he told her like, no, use a proper plate. So it's really funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, he's definitely a unique being for sure. Mm-hmm. When did he start reaching out to your friends? Like, how far after you connected did he start going, okay, we're soul family. I'm going to invite you in, and I'm going to communicate with you? And
he did it with certain friends from the very beginning, even people that I don't talk to now. Because I wasn't trying to communicate with him, and I wasn't trying to figure out the truth. So he would go to my friends and say all this stuff. And I can't even remember now, but so he was always visiting. And I've always have friends with abilities, so whoever he could connect with easily, he would be at them talking.
That makes sense. And that's kind of how spirits work too. You know, when they know that you can hear or see or communicate, they definitely come to you, whether it's for help or to help you, or, you know, it's they're very interesting. And I guess I'm super lucky. I haven't encountered any that are scary, or, you know, what I see in my work is, you know, the ones I have to help get from A to B, like they're restless. They've been stuck here for some reason, whether it's a karmic piece or whatever. So, you know, I don't think people should be afraid of spirits either.
They really should not, because the fear is what makes everything worse.
Exactly.
Like, looking back now, I have not dealt with much that I consider scary now.
Right.
2 years ago when it happened, I flipped out completely. I overreacted. I flipped out a lot. I used to tell people like I thought Herman was attacking me. And it was really my solar plexus chakra had been activated, and I was purging things, and I got violently sick. I would be in like horrible, it felt like stabbing pain, and he would be right over me. So I would put it together as, okay, you did that. Sure. But no, I just didn't know what was going on.
Sure, definitely. I wonder how frustrated he was with you. Do you guys ever talk about this? How frustrated he was with you 2 years ago?
Not like in detail, but I know he was. Like, I've apologized more than once because I could feel it. I was like, oh wow, I was horrible. Like, because I have made everything on him. And then when I figured out past life connections too, like we've had more than one lifetime working together. So when I started putting those together, of course, I immediately, because I'm still here healing all this stuff. So then I blamed him. I'm like, you're the reason I have all this shit going wrong. Like, it's your fault. Look what you did. But then that also finally hit me, but I'm the one here and he's not. So who really has shit to work out? Still me. He's good at throwing up the mirror without talking. Like, it's just kind of like, bam, like, here you go.
Well,
and a lot of people don't like that, so they can't handle it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, sometimes that's really tough for people to see. Kat says, same here. For the most part, I've always had positive experiences with spirits in my life. The one exception had enough warning for me to leave the scene before any distraction happened. Yep. You know where your energy should be focused and where you should be spending your time. And sometimes you're just not supposed to be in those places. And sometimes you're just the person to work with these people, just like in human life. You know, sometimes you just don't work well with others. So
yeah, exactly. You're not a vibrational match.
Exactly.
And it doesn't even mean something happened or is even wrong with either person. You just don't mix. It's like oil and water.
Exactly. Yep. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just where you need to focus your attention for a little while. One conversation we had, Crystal, we talk about these ghost adventure TV shows. I've never been a fan. I'm not knocking them. I know people love to watch them. But what's your take? What's Herman's take?
What's crazy? He would laugh. I know he's laughing at this because I used to watch those. Because I used to be very sick. Like, I was under the disabled legally like label. So I would sit at home sick. Like, I just watched TV. That's what I did. So I would watch those shows. And of course, that programmed my mind immediately to think certain things. So when he came around, I thought, okay, you're horrible. A lot of that thinking I had came from watching these shows. So now these shows piss me off. I went from like super fan to they anger me because there's so much wrong information just thrown on TV to make it look better.
I feel like there's a lot of disrespect. I feel like they're running through the house with pots and pans, like, come out, wherever you are.
Yeah, they go to these places that are, and I'm torn on this topic in general, these places that are famously known for being haunted. So you go there, set up all this equipment, butt your way in to the lives of the spirits for like a weekend, and then leave and then tell everyone, well, I got attacked or this happened and this was horrible. Okay, well, then what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
If it's so bad, then why aren't you trying to fix it and not just film it?
Right. Well, and a lot of people don't even realize, I suppose, really, until you become aware, spirits are everywhere. They are everywhere. I'm not saying they're watching you go to the bathroom or take a shower or be romantic. It's not like that, but they are everywhere, and you have access. And if you really want to see it, you can ask. Again, I would definitely be careful what you ask for in that sense, because they will, if you want scary, they'll show you scary.
And that's what they're doing at a lot of these places, especially now that, and this is a different topic, but now a lot of us on Earth, and the Earth itself is going through this ascension process. There's a lot of healing, a lot of souls being released. Some of us are helping at certain sites. Some sites don't need it. They just go. So now that all this is going on, I even question if on these shows, the names people are talking about are even really the spirits they're dealing with. Because I also know the spirits will just answer to whatever name you keep talking about, because they want attention also. Like, they may be trying to actually tell you something important. It could be your own guide yelling at you and you've ignored them. Now you're at this other place where you're all of a sudden open to spirits. So your own guide could be coming through yelling whatever name you're ready to hear just to get you to listen.
Exactly. You're totally right. They for some reason, especially if they have a message to share, they are all over that, and they are waiting for you to just open up just a tiny little bit just to hear it and pay attention. And then so you talk about you were on the disabled end of things. Did Herman help you get better? What did he help you with, if he did?
Yeah. Well, he's been like a huge activation for me. There was already some things I was working on before I realized whenever he like very first visited me, like I can't remember the exact date time, but there were little changes happening and I was trying to get better. But it seems like after he came around, that woke up like my magic side. Even though I was doing it for the wrong reason, I thought I had to get rid of him. It all of a sudden I was totally obsessed with learning how to do this and that, and one subject would lead to another subject, and now I'm getting pulled into Reiki, So at the time, I didn't know all this was linked. I just thought, okay, I'm starting to feel better. I'm doing these physical things differently. I'm taking supplements now. Now all of a sudden I'm into witchy things, and I have crystals everywhere. And so it seemed like separate events at the time that now are totally just completely interrelated.
Right. So, and he still helps you heal, right? I know I've seen some of your information.
Oh, yeah. I still, like, a lot of what I've been doing for myself the past couple of months has been really deep shadow work and like finding blocks I didn't know were there and like getting them out. And it's always about working on a fear, because I've always been very quiet, just cared too much what everyone else thought about everything. I had severe anxiety. I still get anxiety, but I'm getting better. So, like, I know there was one day right before my second trip to Chicago, he approached me, like, I forgot what we were talking about. It was getting into shadow work stuff again. And then I remember he asked, and I should have known if he asked this, it was a major warning. He said, "Are you sure you want to do this now? You leave for your trip tomorrow." And I was like, "Yeah, let's just do it." Because I'm like bold now. I'm doing this. Okay. So of course, when you're working with someone like Herman, he'll ask you that, but it's not right that second, whatever is about to hit, like it doesn't immediately hit.
Right.
So now the next day I'm in the middle of this 10 to 12 hour drive from Georgia to Philadelphia. I'm in the car and I feel like I'm getting attacked by something. It's like this horrible, I don't know, it feels like your crown chakra is like metal and like pressure. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm seeing what I would call an entity that I have seen in the past. So I'm flipping out, like, I can't deal with this. I'm driving. I can't deal with this. So then I start screaming for Herman. I'm like, I need help. I'm driving right now. I can't deal with this thing. And then I immediately, the second he started speaking, I knew what he meant. And he said, I can't help you with this when you're on your own. And I'm like, oh shit. And then it's like a download, and it just all hit me. Like, my mind created this thing. It was my own mental creation, but if you feed something for so long, it becomes real in the astral world. So I created it. I had to deal with it while I was driving.
Oh
That was
no.
a little exhausting.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How about your journey to Philadelphia? Do you maybe want to explain why you had to go to Philadelphia?
I can't explain all of that. I was pulled up there by Herman. I didn't know why at first. It took me 2 trips to figure it out completely. And so it's like a question I had is done now, but I can't get into that.
Sure. Okay. Do you maybe want to tell people about Mount Moriah and see if maybe they want to help out with that cause too?
Yeah, Mount Moriah is an amazing cemetery, and I'm not the type of person that's ever been drawn to cemeteries before. But it's like 300 acres right outside of downtown Philadelphia. It's no longer in operation. So there are all these people that just volunteer money and time and equipment to keep it even somewhat kept up so people can still visit there. There's not really new graves there. It's been, I don't know how long it's been. I wouldn't say shut down, but it's been not in operation.
Sure.
So there's a lot of really, really old grave sites there. It's just a beautiful space. Aside from the fact that it's a graveyard, but it's like this amazing natural habitat. Like there's wild animals and there's water, there's a stream there, what you expect that close to Philly.
Wow.
So I've been trying to get people to donate money, like even $1. They have a website, Friends of Mount Moriah.
Awesome.
People I know that do energy work, I've been having help in that way also to kind of lift the energy happen. It attracts a lot of people who they feel a powerful energy there, so they want to go use it for themselves.
Right.
Which then angers the spirits that hang out there.
Right.
So there's a lot of like mixed energy there. And there was also someone was killed there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of really low bad energy mixed into this place.
Wow. Yeah. That makes sense. And I suppose, being one of those hot spots, people go and, vandalize or, whatever they do, so keeping upkeep and keeping that protected and stuff for sure.
It's really hard, yeah.
Make sure when we're all done here that you go back and maybe share some information like Friends of Mount Moriah, if they have a website. And, I think that would be really great, you guys, to step in and help these sacred sites. They are in these very special cities. I know your trip to Philadelphia, and it took me a little bit to connect the dots here too, but the diamond dowsing work I do is part of the Freemason work, and I didn't realize that Philadelphia was the Masons,
Yeah.
and they had these amazing things happening, and
There's so much energy there, and that's why I think people are so drawn there. That I didn't realize this even until my own trip. Like the energy with the Masons is so strong because there are like different orders or degrees or whatever you call it that maybe not now, but 100 years ago, they were doing real rituals in their lodge rooms. And so in downtown Philly, you have that Grand Lodge of Philadelphia, which should be called the Grand Lodge of America, period. I mean, it is so immaculate. It's gorgeous. And there's so much energy in that building. It's insane.
Wow. Yeah, I know your pictures are absolutely stunning and amazing. And, you have some public pages where you share some of those pictures too, right?
Yeah, well,
go ahead.
They're not on any public page now because the one I had before I got rid of to start the book page, so that's all gone. I'll have to reshare things.
Awesome. So what does a typical day for Herman look like? What does he like to do?
He's busy all the time. Because I get, I have my own things going on, and so I'm doing whatever human things. So he's always in and out of here, though. He's here every day, all day, but it may not be 24/7. Like he's always jumping around, working. There was one day I had a friend message me through Facebook. I've never met her. Her and I had never even really talked before, and she's telling me one day all of a sudden her daughter keeps talking about Herman that's with her, helping her.
Aww.
And I was like, wow. And that seems to be a common theme. Like he's helping healers, people that are into healing, like he's helping us.
That's really
because my work is getting much more technical in a way I don't even understand. He has to give me words, and he'll have to tell me, you've got to look this up to understand what I'm saying.
Wow.
And while I'm working with someone else, and I'm like, I don't even know what to tell you. I got to look this up.
Stop, hold the phone.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And he's
really cool.
He's helping you develop some of the healing techniques that you do too, right?
Yeah, it has a name now, macrocosmic energetic procedure. That could be a lot of different things, though. It's kind of like, since I have a business, I need a name.
Yeah.
I need a price to start at. So here's a name, but I can't even explain. Every person is so different, because it could be just working on one physical issue for someone, or end up being like a spiritual rebirth where now, okay, we're activating you. You're getting connected with your soul. Like your floor is about to fall out from beneath you type deal.
Definitely. That's really just incredible. I love this story. It's amazing. I love this comment. Andrea says, love it. Supporters of the supporting souls of the world.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Is there anything Herman doesn't like about today's world? Does he have any advice for us, maybe?
I'm not sure. I know there's a lot he doesn't like. I didn't realize, because I thought as a spirit, if he's around me, he's seeing everything. So I didn't realize there was a lot he doesn't know unless I go do it. Philadelphia was a prime example, because I can channel him fully. So there's been times here, like if I'm driving in the mountains, he'll want to channel and drive. Like, okay, we'll do it. In Philly, no way. There was one day, it was kind of a joke, but kind of not, because traffic was so bad in this one area. And so I'm like, will you just drive the car? Like, this is your anyway. I'm tired of dealing with this. Like, no, just no. He didn't know what to do with that. So it's funny to see that there's things like I guess he just thinks it's how it was when he was alive. And then you get there in person, and it's like, oh no, everything's different.
This doesn't even look the same. This isn't,
No, yeah, it's so different. And then how people even are, everyone's much more free with expressing themselves and dressing how you want, and sexuality, and just everything's very out in the open. And so he's kind of like, not necessarily judging it, but just like, wow, you people do some weird things.
What is happening? This is so weird.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. That's funny.
That's funny. Really, really funny. Kat says that's adorable. That's really good stuff. You're writing a book, right?
I'm trying to make myself, yeah. I need to. There's so much to tell, because there's the beginnings of how things started out with him, his past life that people know about, but then it gets into higher selves and soul level, and why we're connected in the soul contract, and being from Draco, if people are aware of what starseeds are. So I used to always think I was from Sirius, and I'm finding out no, it's Draco, which is the one star system everyone loves to hate. So apparently a lot of these people currently and in history that are from Draco have like publicly lived out their shadow sides.
Ah,
Which is why the world hates them.
sure. Makes sense.
So that's like really pushing me out of my comfort zone now, because those are the people I need to be reaching out to, as far as other people who think they may be linked with the draconian side and don't want to admit it.
Sure. Wow. Very, very interesting. For
It
sure.
is. It all gets very interesting.
That's that'll be a really fabulous book to read. And I like that you're gonna work all that together. And I'm sure Herman's kind of guiding you on that too. And right.
Yeah.
He's telling you what's up and what you need to write about and confirm.
It's really hard for my mind to piece together, because I'm like, how do you go in one book from talking about H.H. Holmes to dragons?
But
it's a lot.
you tie in that soul piece and home, and interesting. Yeah, well, I have, one more inner diamond class I'm getting ready to head into, and maybe I'll help you figure some stuff out too. There might be some information we can go over in my notes and
that would be awesome.
Piece the words together a little bit. There's a lot of healing that needs to happen in those groups. You're right, Kat.
There is, yeah.
And
I've noticed it's not just me. As far as, I made a post about this. I call them like the OGs, original gangsters, as far as these, especially men from history who had very infamous roles and some type of murder or something's involved, especially with the gangsters.
Yeah.
Or like doctors, like the Nazi doctors. So like a lot of people that were very powerful and influential, but in an imbalanced way, like the shadow side came out, but it seems a lot of them are with other people also, like they're helping this shift now.
Wow. That's really awesome. That's like maybe okay, they worked out their piece and figured out how to help the next person work out that piece.
Exactly.
It's like lifting that hand up, extending the hand, maybe I should say, is a better term. But yeah, that's really fascinating. I guess I didn't even know that. The main spirit I work with is my grandma, and I think that's kind of to help relay some messages, to my family. She passed away when I was so young. So that was kind of that was a really good gateway for her and me, because I was so young and open to receive that. It was, an unbiased space for her to jump in and be able to communicate. So
it's weird for me, because I rarely see my own family. They'll pop in like randomly every once in a while, but it's very fast. And I don't know if it's because they don't need to be here, or if the energy I have going on here is so strong now, there's not room for them. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Very interesting stuff all the way around. So what kind of healing work do you do? You're a healer too, or a conduit, maybe?
Yeah, both. Yeah. So I do, like one simple thing I do for people, because this can kind of, no matter like what your belief system is, what level of work you're doing, life path reports, it's based on numerology, and it gives people a lot of insight. So I do those. And then I do.
Fascinating.
Yeah. It gives so much info. People are blown away. And then I do what I call just spiritual counseling, because it's more than just a normal reading. So it's like you're blocking out an hour of time to go over all of it, whatever you need to go over. And we may pull out cards, we may not. Like I don't use them a lot anymore. And then if you get into the energy procedures, because I can do Reiki, I'm a master for Reiki, but that's not really what I do. It's not really what I ever did. I kind of got that certification just so other people would be comfortable.
Yeah.
And myself in the beginning, but I don't even know how to explain it, because it's very one-on-one with the person. And then you have Herman telling me, because he's looking like doing spotty scans, telling me what's going on. And then I'll see him like moving when I'm working with people. It's like if you have a grid of lines as the body, like he's moving them.
Oh,
So I
cool.
don't even know what he's doing, but they're feeling things.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
incredible. It's interesting you talk about Reiki being a platform for you. And this is a conversation I had with a good friend of mine not too terribly long ago. I'm a master teacher too, and I've taught one class, two classes. It was more like it was an activation for me to be able to
Yeah.
level up. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was for me.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Because I'm very, the chakras especially, well, all of them are important, but your main seven for people starting out, like they're so important to
Yeah,
work with. But it can be done so many ways, not only Reiki, or you can include Reiki with a lot of things. And so like that's never been my main focus.
right.
But if anyone wants to get certified, I can do it.
Absolutely. Another friend of mine, she's a Reiki Master teacher too. We were talking about how the attunements have even changed for us. When I started giving attunements, I never necessarily felt like I had to draw them. Does that make sense? Like it was like maybe breathe that light in, and that was the attunement. So yeah, it's very interesting how it's really evolving, and it's
changing a lot. And I think per person, you need to do what comes naturally, because drawing on the palms never felt
yeah,
that important to me. And some of the symbols I can't even memorize, like I don't even try. But
yeah,
when I'm working with people, I'm more seeing light energy, different colors, and it's a lot of times I'm working with flames, and it's not just the violet flame. Like I've worked with black flames, and those are amazing. So I
yeah.
kind of just do whatever feels needs to come out and be done.
Absolutely. And I really feel like as a healer, that's what we're supposed to do. Not every body looks the same,
Right.
especially mind, body, soul wise, physical, mental, and emotional. There are so many different layers to each person that healing looks so different for each person in those sessions. Like you might be touching their head and working on their toe at the same time, kind of a deal, and you
Yeah.
might touch the next person's shoulder. It looks completely different. Somebody had asked me to do a video one time of what a Reiki session looks like for me, and I've never been able to do that. That's just a request I could never honor because it looks so different every time for me.
And I never even got into working with clients in person.
Wow,
It's like my natural ability that I found like just came through long distance. I had a long distance Reiki session, like one of my very first ones.
very cool.
And like I was so connected to what she was doing. So then I like immediately tried it on a friend, and I was like, I want to try this, and called him up and tried it, and then it worked. I wasn't certified in anything. So it just kind of like opened something in me like, okay, now we start.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a really good portal to go down, really good rabbit hole maybe
Yeah.
that to the other rivers. Hey viewers, I see you. Stop by, say hi, and if you got any questions for Crystal, pop them out at us. We'd love to get them on the air for you. I know she does some really cool stuff, you guys, and her connection that she's so tuned in is that's really an incredible piece of the puzzle too. So like I said, if you got questions, definitely throw them out there. I know there are several ways you can connect with Crystal too. She has a couple business pages. Maybe you want to tell them about those pages, and then like I said, afterwards make sure you go back and post the links too.
I will. It's my business page is Crystal Realm 88, facebook.com/Crystal Realm 88. And then I have the book page, which is 88 the book, facebook.com/88 the book. So 88's in everything now. That's like the number code.
Hey, that works.
Add that to everything. I'm being told to do something. I knew there was going to be an activation today, but I didn't think I would be physically involved, but I guess so.
Herman. Awesome.
So that'll, whoever needed that, that's something to do with third eye. That's all I know.
That's really cool. Does Herman have anything he wants to tell anybody out here? Any advice for us? Any words of wisdom? How we can help raise the vibe? Anything?
First, he says he does this a lot to other people. Hold on, sorry, someone calls. Because when we talk about healers and natural healers and our soul jobs, but he says, remember, he was the doctor and still is the doctor. And that's the difference.
Fascinating. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he's really amazing, you guys. I totally, just even my connection with my grandma, crystals with Herman, reach out, connect in with those guides that are here to teach and assist you on your path. Life doesn't have to be so hard. And
yeah, it can make life really amazing when you get fear out of the way.
Exactly. And things really start to flow for you too, so it just drop the resistance, step into who you are, and don't be afraid of who you are, and especially karma wise, people are really afraid of shadow work. And you almost hate to even call it shadow work because it's work. It's, everyday stuff.
It's natural. And I have this conversation a lot because I don't like the term light worker. Like, I've never claimed to be that. It doesn't mean I'm into evil things and cursing people either.
Right.
But light and dark, you see it in nature. Like, you have sun and moon, day and night.
Yes.
Dark and light. It's natural. So
right.
You have to embrace what's you.
It's just neutral is what it is. So yeah. It's you're very right. You talk about shadow work, you talk about the light worker. Absolutely. I think I use the term because it's just a really good way to describe myself, I guess. you know, maybe for lack of other words, and hopefully maybe the right word will come out someday to be able to describe myself to other people.
It gets really hard because, I know we have all these words. I use a lot of different words, like shaman, shamanic witch, energy worker, whatever. But then, people get so stuck on those words, and they don't fit. Energy is so limitless. We don't have words to fit everything. So we're just trying to explain it the best way we can.
Most definitely. It's very, very interesting. You guys, I totally want to invite you to reach out and work with Crystal. I've seen portions of her life path. I'm sorry, Crystal. The name of that
life path report.
Yeah, those are absolutely incredible. And if you're into that kind of stuff, I think you would really benefit from learning all the other pieces. It's just uncanny what you can find out about yourself. And I know she does some quantum healing. What is QHHT? Quantum healing, hypnosis.
That's the Dolores Cannon method.
Oh, wow.
I'm an intern in that. So what I'm doing with that right now has to be free and in person, which is kind of the problem. It's putting a halt on who all I could be working with. I have met someone that has got this going long distance safely. Cool. Because her problem was it's kind of hard to do this on Wi-Fi if you have someone in a deep trance in a past life burning as a witch. Yeah. If your internet goes out, what are you going to do?
Right.
So, but I've met people now that are doing this. You just can't call it that once it's long distance. You have to take her name completely out of it. So I'm still learning. That's not something I'm offering at all. No, I'm still learning this, but it's amazing.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I just know you do all kinds of fascinating things, and especially with your connection with Herman, you just
Yeah,
have
I feel like he has me jumping all over the map from day to day. I don't know what I'm focused on every day. I just get up like, okay, what am I doing?
Yeah, no, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
He's totally helping you lead the way forward and just step into everything that you are and this amazing creature, that you have all these special gifts. So he's just lighting the pathway for you. And I think that's absolutely incredible and beautiful.
It is. Yeah, I'm very blessed and grateful to be at this point now.
Yeah. I know it takes a little work.
Yeah,
We'll move forward together for sure.
definitely.
All right, guys, definitely make sure you reach out to Crystal, connect with her. She is an incredible person. She shares all kinds of beautiful wisdom. She has a lot of gifts to offer the world as far as what she can help you overcome in your physical, mental, and emotional health. So, thank you so much, Crystal, for this interview.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, viewers. And, again, if you got some questions, you can reach out, put them in the post, and, Crystal can see them after the show too. So she can help answer some of those too. And, again, make sure you're putting your links as to how we can connect with you. And
I will come back and do that.
awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.